What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Import Modify. It's 2023. It is a new year. Happy New Year to every single one of y'all. This year, I know is going to be a better year than 2022, because 2022 for me kind of sucked, but that's behind me, so I ain't going to think much about that, and I'm just going to move on with my life. And one of the things that I want to move on with is turning my business into a more successful business so that I can eventually grow and get out of this business park, get me a nice building on a nice busy intersection, and own my own shop and have techs working for me. But in order to do that, I got to get more clientele, I got to get more money, and I got to get things right. So steps, got to make a plan how to get there. One of the things I need to do in order to improve my situation is my workspace. So took the time. Now that I have my work truck back, I was able to start moving things and get a storage unit, and some friends of mine came over and helped me out with a lot of the bulk stuff, and thank you guys very much for that. And it did help me out a lot. So it would have took me forever to do that by myself. So got that done. Need to make more cleaning and move more stuff, because that's going to be a designated welding area, along with putting my bulk items like engine hoist, press, and other things up in the back area. And I do have a lot of stuff that needs to go to storage, because a lot of that stuff is basically in a storage state, because I have things I've collected over the years like Honda, BMW, Nissan parts, and they're in the bins and they're on the floor. I got transmissions, VTEC heads, a whole bunch of stuff. Throughout the years, when I see stuff for sale that I'm into, like Honda parts and BMW and stuff and whatever, I buy them and then I collect them, so that whenever I see something later on that I want to build or I want to buy, I already have a stock of stuff. It's not hoarding. If you are an enthusiast, that's not hoarding. That is collecting. So I'm a collector. I collect. So I need a space for everything I collect, so it ain't collecting in my shop, so I can make money with the space that I got. Get it? Cool. Anyway, I sound delirious. All right, so yeah, two items that I need to get this thing running is the 3-bar map sensor and the AC pulley delete. Well, both of those things, I went to order them, and guess what? Both of those things are on back order. They're on back order to the end of the month. So I'm gonna get a lot of the stuff done, everything else done, and then when those parts come in, we're gonna do an episode for the first start and drive. So gonna get there. We're making more progress on this thing, but this episode I don't think is gonna be entirely for the SRT4, because honestly, it's down to the wire, and I'm kind of tired of working on it right now. Kind of want to mess with something else, because I do have a lot of other project cars and cars that I do own and they drive, and one of those is my Z31 Turbo. I need to figure out the shimming on the front of that thing. I need to order me some hub-centric rings and straighten out the extended studs better, and hopes to get the shimmying that I'm getting out of the front steering, get that fixed so that I can move on. And I plan to put Mega Squirt in that thing pretty soon as well, so stay tuned for that. And back to the SRT4. One of my packages came in from Jacob. Golly. One of my packages came in from Jacob. Kinetic Creations. He sent me a multifunction upgrade harness kit, and honestly, I'm burned out on wiring, guys. I don't want to wire no more right now on this car. So my plans is to get this thing running, and once it's running and driving, I'll go ahead and install this, and then it'll be working. All the electrical stuff will be working, and I can test it out and make sure everything's good, and it'll be its own designated episode in the future. So shout out to Jacob from Kinetic Creations. Thank you very much for this package, and I will put it to good use. So let's go ahead and finish off the window regulator, put the seat in, and then after that, let's go get the Z31 Turbo. been a minute since I cranked this thing, so y'all can tell it's really dusty. Let's just see how it cranks up. Crank it right up. Gotta be careful when I get out of the driveway. It's dirty, it's dusty. So cool, never gets old, love it. All right, guys, so the Z31 Turbo is back in the garage. Now we got to get the studs straightened out, and we need to make measurements on the wheel so that I can get the proper hub-centric rings. And I think that will straighten out the shimmying and everything that I'm having, and we'll be able to move on from there, because driving it right now up to highway speeds, it shakes pretty good. So we need to take care of that. And I spoke earlier about the Mega Squirt. I don't have to wait and buy that. I actually own one. Here we go, right here. I have a Mega Squirt 3, and it's a 3 something. I forget, I gotta look it up, but it's a good one. It's better than the 2. And I need a pigtail. Gotta buy the pigtail, right? Because wiring this thing in ain't gonna be too difficult, because for one, I'm gonna go straight off the connector for the ECU on that thing, and I'm gonna splice into it and solder in that connector, that pigtail, and it's gonna go to this unit right here. And then from there, it's pretty much just connect the laptop up, put in a base map, get it started, get it running, and then I can start learning more of the Mega Squirt setup. I've messed with a lot of Honda and stuff in the past, and I'm familiar with that, but the Mega Squirt's set up a little bit different, and I've been watching YouTube tutorials and other things to learn about it, so I got a general idea of what to do. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that to this car. And one of the things I'm very happy about doing that is right now I'm having a fuel controller controlling everything. So it's an Apexy fuel controller, and basically, I mean, it does what it needs to do, keep fuel ratios safe on this car. So allows me to drive it, but this thing needs an actual freaking it needs an actual purpose-built tuner, and that Mega Squirt will do the job. And not only will I get the fuel tables right on it, we can play with the ignition timing and make some more power, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Only thing that I think that I'm going to have to do to this thing in the future, when I do start messing with the ignition timing, is I'm going to have to add a knock sensor somewhere on this thing and wire that in. So that'll allow me to know when too much is too much. And we don't want to put a whole lot of knock in this thing and mess it up. So we're going to have to do that, but we don't have to wait for the knock sensors. We can wire everything up, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this thing in there, get it running, and I'll play with some things on a safe note until I get knock sensors in, and then I'll go for the glory, I guess. I don't know. I want it to drive like it looks. And right now, I mean, it's fun, it's peppy, don't get me wrong. It's got T3T4 turbo in it, and you know, it's a budget turbo, it's a max speeding rock turbo, but I mean, it's better than the 87 little T3 turbo it had in there. So with the Mega Squirt and me being able to fine tune things, it will definitely change the way that this car drives and feels, and I can't wait to do that. And a harness, I think, when I was looking at the prices, they were like $100 or something. So I'm gonna pull a trigger on that this week. I'm getting that definitely. So you guys got that to look forward to on this car, and we'll get some more Z31, you know, content out there, because I get a lot of subscribers that subscribe to my channel originally for this car, I get comments here and there, you know, when's the Z31 coming back? When's it coming back? Well, it's coming back, guys. It ain't forgotten. We just we got to get other things going, but in between we can mess with other things, right? So let's go ahead, get this thing on the lift, and get it going. All right, so it's done. I went ahead and pulled the trigger and ordered those pigtail harnesses. Turns out I have the Megasquirt 3X set up, so I got the harness for that. And I also got the MS3 ready harness because there's 2 ports on it. I didn't do any specific research on schematics yet. I just got both of them because it looks like on a 3X there's all these added features on it that the MS3 by itself don't have, like launch control. It looks like see injector F, injector E, so it's probably got sequential injection and all those things. So I ordered that as well, so I have both of the harnesses that I need. But to start things off, I'm going to keep things simple with the setup that I have, and I'm going to wire it up for that. And then in the future I will you know, add more things and utilize the 3X wiring harness. I just got to do more research on that, and time right now for me is of the essence, so I'm going to keep it as simple as I can to start with, and probably just the MS3 pigtail is what I'll wire in at first and get it all running and everything. And then as I go, I can add sequential injection and all those other things like that. But just to start with, I'm going to keep things simple so that I can get this thing running and performing like it should. So cool deal. I just got batteries in for my was it veneer caliper. It's got a little digital gauge on it, so we're going to take a telescopic gauge and we're going to go ahead and measure out the hub size of that wheel. And I know what the hub size of this is because I looked it up. It's 66.1. So we'll see what hub-centric rings we need to order, and we'll get that done as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now's the time to measure the size of this hub area. So basically we use a telescopic gauge, and this right here, it has a little twistable part on the bottom, and that just unlocks and locks these rods. So basically what we're going to do is just take this, we're going to make our measurement, and then we're going to measure it across on a digital caliper, and that'll give us a pretty accurate number on the size of this hole right here. So basically there is a way that you do use these. There's a proper way and an improper way. If you see the edges, they're rounded, right? A lot of people just put it straight in the hole, they release the rods, and then they pull it out. Well, that's not the accurate way to do it. They're rounded for a reason. You put it in at an angle, unlock it, and then you lock it to where it's like gently locked to where it will not extract the rods, and then you rotate it in the hole like that, and then that will give you your most accurate reading. And then when you rotate it across, it also frees up these ends, and you can pull it out and not have to worry about, you know, anything messing up the measurements as you would just putting it straight in, releasing it, locking it, and pulling it out. There's a lot of room for error on that. When you rotate it like that, there's no room for error when you pull it out. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it real quick, and we'll make our measurement, and we'll see exactly what size hub-centric rings we need to get. Let's do it. So I'm going to lock them in place like that so it fits in the hole. I'm going to release it. I'm going to make sure I'm centered. I'm going to use this hole as reference for the center part. I'm going to go ahead and release it like so. And then from there, I'm just going to gently lock it, roll it across, and now I got my measurement. So, well, I have something to measure. So I'm going to go ahead and zero this digital caliper out. It needs to be in millimeters, which it shows, let's see, hit 0, okay, 0. And then from there, it's just measuring this and seeing what we got. 72.7. Now this measurement can be off by, you know, a little bit. I think I saw 72.6, but we'll look up and see if there's 72.7. So let's go ahead and just verify that again. Let's go ahead and do it again, right? So released it. All right, tighten it a little bit and rotate it. There we go. 72.7, that's what I'm reading. So let's go ahead and see if we can find some hub-centric rings, and we will get that part of it done. Then we got a couple studs we're gonna straighten out. And that'll be that. All right, so we made some progress on the SRT4. We got interior and everything pretty much for the most part all put in, and it's good. Window regulator, y'all saw me test that out. That worked good. And if you looked on the video, I didn't put the weather mat in because the sticky glue don't stick anymore. So I was trying to get that to re-stick and it didn't. So I'm gonna have to get me some glue in the future and put the weather strip in there, the weather panel. That's why I didn't do it in the video, but yeah, we made great progress on the Z31 as well. So I guess you can call this a little bit of a mashup episode. So progress on the SRT, progress on the Z31 Turbo. And some of those studs were actually visibly crooked whenever I took the wheels off. And using the factory rim as my template, because the bore size on that wheel is perfect for this because it belongs to the car. I used that as the template and knocked some of the studs loose and retorqued them down, and it seemed to straighten them out pretty good. So hopefully that, along with the rings that I'm going to get in, is going to be the fix-all for that, and I'll be very happy about that. But I don't want to drive it until I get the rings, because what happens if I hit a big pothole or something? Will that mess up the alignment on the lugs? Because there is quite a big gap between the rim and the hub. I mean, we measured it out. Was it 72.7 is what I measured, and 66.1 is the hub size. So yeah, there's plenty of room for things to get misaligned. So I'm gonna wait until those rings come in, and then we'll take this thing on a drive. And shortly after that, guys, I mean, y'all saw me order the pigtails, so I should be getting that in pretty soon too. So we're definitely gonna have more Z31 Turbo content coming your way. I know it's been a little bit dry on these cars, because let's just face it, they're the black sheep of the Z car family. But this is just true testament to how cool you can make these cars look. So if you guys are here for the first time, check my playlist. I have a ton of episodes on this car, literally. But more of it's to come, and more of the SRT as well. So I'm all done on this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope the mashup is something that y'all like. If y'all do like it, let me know in the comments below. I'll see about doing some more episodes like that. I kind of had fun doing two cars at once. But anyway, until the next one, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace out.